Hi, Prema Gurreri, Vedic astrologer, soul advisor, and welcome to your February 2020 update. Wow, what a month we have. This is a very positive month. There's great energy. Some of the themes that we're working with this month are love and deep connection, our inspiration, and really tuning in and keeping our eye and our hearts on the big picture. Commitment and focus. That'll bring what we want into fruition. And organizing our ideas and ideals, bringing those thoughts down and organizing them, and helping them take root here at the earth. And we're going to have a little bit of conflict and volatility, but it's not too much because all the planets are in dignity. Not all the planets, a lot of the planets are in dignity, and there is a lot of light. When you have more light, you can see more opportunities, you can see more choices. All right, let's dig in here. So first off, the superstar for this month is in Vedic astrology, and I am talking about Vedic astrology, the sidereal zodiac, the astrology of India. We have Venus exalted in Pisces. So what does this mean for you? This is a place of a lot of light. This is the end of the zodiac where we come into the beginning again, in Aries again. And this is a place of deep spirituality. It is a water sign. It is accommodating. This is a place for our hearts to grow bigger and bigger and crack wide open. This is a place and a time in this month from the 2nd all the way through the 28th of this month. We're going to have this exalted Venus, beauty. This is a place of deep wisdom, spiritual wisdom, but this is a place for us to connect in with those that we love, to connect in with our own hearts. I always say self, source, and then others. This is where you want to nurture your relationships, make some more time for your relationships. If you don't have that special relationship that you want, it's time for you to open up to that more. Let your heart bloom open. Put yourself in situations where you might be meeting new people. All of us are going to feel the love and the connection of this beautiful energy that we have. And a lot of it, let's think about love and relationship, and there's a big part of it that stems from appreciation. So your self-appreciation, your appreciation of others, this deep connectivity. I will cut another video that goes in even deeper, just really on the power of Venus. Venus's archetypes are the artist, the muse, and also the great connector. I have the connector on the wall today. That's also on the front of the oracle deck. This is that we need each other, we want each other, and in fact, our desires are usually fulfilled through the connection with others. So Venus is, super strong this month, shining its light on beauty. So take advantage of this great energy. Get with people, connect with your tribe, connect with your loved ones, connect with your family. Make time for that. Make it a priority. Connection is currency on many levels of our being. Also make time for beauty and the arts and creativity, and give yourself some extra special time with the divine through meditation, yoga, being in nature, whatever brings you closer to the source of our being. So that's just a beautiful energy for everyone. We also have this month, Jupiter will be for the whole month. It'll be for most of the year in Sagittarius. And for this month, it'll absolutely be there. And Jupiter is really asking us to connect in with the big picture. Hopefully you've done your vision for this year. If you haven't, you can click the link below and get my 2020 visioning practice. It's a great meditation and training to really hone in on what you want to create this year. But we need that big picture view. Jupiter, this energy, it's what it wants for itself. Jupiter's beautiful this way. It wants for everybody, and actually isn't too involved with the details of things, but likes that bigger picture. And especially if you have the archetype of the teacher, the visionary, or the sage, you'll really be feeling this strong this year. But really seeing that big picture and not getting lost in the minutiae, or how's it going to happen. Instead, stay very connected to your vision, and inspiration will come up, and only follow those inspired actions. Only follow the inspiration you get. Don't try to nitty gritty your big picture, except for the one thing that maybe you have committed to, as you might have seen also in my Saturn update. And Saturn will be in Capricorn in Vedic astrology for the next 3 years. That's calling us to really commit. I'll put that link below. Commit and focus in. So that energy is really strong this month as well. Remember that when we really concentrate our energy like light, we have a laser beam, right? We can point very specifically. We can do a floodlight has a very different energy than a laser does. So we're going to have that energy of having some focus like we haven't had, because Saturn's just getting into gear. Being willing to really connect and commit to what is really important to us, one of the great inspirations we have, and to put the time and the energy in to focus on it. So you'll want to arrange your schedule, if you already know what you're committed to give yourself some time to focus on that, so that you have the quiet time or the creative time or the collaboration time, that you can put the blinders on to the rest of the things that you need to do in a day, and you can actually focus in. Now, just imagine the fact that, and tune in more so to the fact that all of us are being called to this. So on a collective level, all of us tuning in, all of us connecting deeply with our hearts, all of us tuned into the bigger picture and focusing on our vision and bringing that forward. Well, collectively, we are incredibly strong. So if we're taking care of ourselves, living in alignment as much as possible, following our own energy, dealing with our own challenges to the best way possible, and then we're focused into what we feel really purposeful about, but we're keeping the bigger picture for what we want for ourselves and the world, I mean, we can really make some gains collectively together as we focus in individually for what's important for each and every one of us. We get to uplift the whole by doing that. This month we have a Mercury retrograde. I know, it always seems like we're in Mercury retrograde. I will create a separate video that'll go deeper into this retrograde, but what I want you to know about it is it starts on the 16th of the month, and it goes to the 9th of March. And Mercury in retrograde this time is not with any of the bad boys, meaning that it is mild. It's a pretty easygoing retrograde. What I want you to watch out for is the 15th, the 16th, and the 17th. Write that down. 15th, 16th, and 17th of February. Also, the 8th, 9th, and 10th of March. When Mercury is turning directions, when it's going in and out of retrograde, then that's when it's the wonkiest. It's not stable for what we need it to be stable for our communication, our transformation. It rules business. It rules our ability to judge clearly. It rules transportation. Mercury is incredibly important to all of us, and it is not in a place where it is with any of the troublemakers. See, Mercury takes on the energy of any of the planets it's with, and of course takes on the energy of the constellation that it's in. So when it's playing with the tougher planets like Mars and Saturn, it takes on that energy. That was last summer with Mars, and also with the eclipses. And when it's with the planets of light, it takes on even more light. In fact, we call it one of the benefic planets when it's with Jupiter or Venus. All you need to know is that this is really happening in a place in Vedic astrology where it helps to bring those ideals, those ideas that are really on a humanitarian level, what's good for the world socially, and it's helping us to bring down and organize those ideas. I'll go into that a little further again later in the month. As we get closer to that time, I'll create you a separate video on that. But for now, just know, mark those dates. Those are the important dates to watch out for during that time. And during that time, I'm going to want to encourage you to sometime during the retrograde to block out some time for yourself so that you have time to capture and organize those ideas. Do that in a future video. We have a full moon this month, and that's on February 9th, and it is the snow moon. Now, it's called the snow moon because in the northern hemisphere, this is typically the snowiest month on average in the northern hemisphere. So it's called the snow moon. And if you've ever been out like skiing or walking at night when there's a beautiful moon on the snow, it's just the moon looks even bigger, and it is incredibly bright, and we illuminate the night. It's beautiful, beautiful energy. So the full moon is when things are coming more into fruition. The energy that we've started the cycle with of the last month is coming more into its fruition. And this energy is really around spiritual leadership, and spiritual liberation because of the lunar mansion that it is connected to in Vedic astrology. We have to watch out for the ego and being a little too self-serving during this full moon. And again, this full moon is on February 9th. But you'll have some more of that energy. It really will support you in ambition and leadership, power in general. So if you have something that you need to lead or powerful that you need to do, great time to do that. Connecting with your family, and we have Venus for that as well. Being very loyal to your spiritual lineage and to your ancestors. Great time for honoring that. It expresses in all these different ways. Now, we have to watch out for the misuse of power on the shadow side. Where there is light, on the other side of that, there can be shadow. And all we have to do to dispel the shadow is bring whatever's in the shadow into the light. When it's in the light, we can up-level our consciousness and make different choices about that. So the ego is strong for accomplishing your personal mission during this full moon. And because of that, just watch that side of arrogance or self-serving, as opposed to, okay, what is it that I'm really here to lead? How can I do that from the inside out? That would be spiritual leadership, not just what's in it for me, but like, what am I called on a divine purpose level to lead here? Whatever that may be. I mean, whether that's expressed through your business, whether, I'm here to help people to live from the inside out, to illuminate people's soul blueprints so they can understand themselves deeply, and so that they can actualize what they're here for and enjoy this amazing life and know how to get through the challenges and have them grow you instead of take you down. Whatever you're here for on a spiritual leadership level, look, that's an inside job, just as spiritual liberation is an inside job. So take some time on this full moon to really sit and connect with, what is my spiritual mission here? What am I here? Am I here to, to help people to find more joy in their lives? Am I here just to be completely aligned as much as I can? That is my spiritual leadership. And so by doing that, I affect those around me. Is my spiritual leadership awakening other parents to being the most amazing parents they can, so that we raise the next generation in a very conscious manner? Whatever it is for you, really tune in and hone into that. It'll be very available. The light will be shining on that for you. And another interesting thing about this full moon, again on the 9th, and we'll also look at the full moon on the 8th, 9th, 10th is when it's really strong, is that this is a place that, where it's really great for performing and for the arts. And so if you are a performer, if you are the arts, get out there with your work during this full moon. It is a great time to be seen and to really, if you have that calling, to really satisfy that calling, and that you can do through the recognition of performing, because that performance is actually a form of communication. And those of you who need to perform, and if you happen to have your natal sun or moon here, you need to, then if you don't, it usually shows up in the wrong kind of drama. So give yourself some space for that. Okay, we'll have a new moon on the 22nd, 23rd, depending on where you are in the world. And this will be a place of starting new things, planting new seeds. Always on the new moon, we start a new lunar cycle that goes on for the next 30 days or so. I'll do a video update that'll really highlight this new moon for you. But what I want you to know is this is going to be a very healing new moon. It's in a lunar mansion that is called 100 Lotuses, Herbs and Flowers, 100 Healers. So it's a great time to use your healing gifts if you are in the healing arts. It's a wonderful time for you to be studying that. It is really this new moon, how can you nourish humanity? That's going to be the message that comes with this new moon. And it's a place that gives great courage to do that. It's a great time to do some clearing of your beliefs. If you're into, herbs and healing or energetic healing, a great time to either dive deeper into your practice, treat and give a healing session, or absolutely to receive one and even do that for yourself. I'll take some more time later in the month to dive into that energy for you. But I just want to give you that heads up on what we're up for and what our themes are for this month. Now, the one that I need to go into now will be the conflict and volatility. So we have this energy with Mars because it's just going in on the 7th into Sagittarius. Be a little weak, 7th and 8th, Mars will, but it's going to be good for our passion. It's going to be with Jupiter. It's going to help fuel that bigger vision. It's going to be great for your productivity. One thing that it's not going to be so great for, it's just because the alignment with the south node of the moon, K2 the mystic, and the last eclipse point. I won't bore you with the geeking out details, but here's the thing. 22nd through about the end of the month, 28th, actually we're in a leap year this year. That last week of the month, I want you to watch your potential for conflict and volatility. Some of that you're going to be feeling collectively, like, just that volatility that's up in the world right now. And we may see some big things break out at that time. But what I want you to do is stay centered, stay in all this great, good energy that's happening this month. And don't jump into conversations where you're trying to really work something out. There's any potential conflict or people you have conflicts with, steer clear during that week. Don't dive into that. Mars brings things on really quickly. So if you start to feel that urge, like, I've got to answer that email, or, I can't believe they're saying that again, and you want to retaliate, whoa, put the brakes on, get lined up, take some deep breaths, go for a walk. Do not jump into the fire. A lot of this will be mitigated because we have the planets of light in such a great position, but I still want you to really watch out for that volatility. Some of it may have nothing to do with your life. You're just feeling it collectively, and we process that collectively. So really ask yourself, is this mine or is this not mine? Very important for you to know. You want to be on the good side of Mars. You want to be in your passion. If you're not passionate, you're going to be pissy when it comes to Mars. And you also want to, there's this desire for us to feel productivity. We have some good forward momentum now. Dive into what you're passionate about. Get productive about that, and sidestep the conflict and the volatility, because it's like the energy of a really, really hot day that week, and you don't want to light that little match that can combust the whole field on fire, and it can happen without you even being aware of it. So it's also a good time to steer clear of really big crowds and travel. Watch out for, if you're traveling that last week of the month, things might be delayed. We could have challenging weather at that time. So if you don't have to travel that week, don't travel that week. If you are, give yourself more time. Don't put time pressures on yourself. Double check everything. But, go with the way I always travel, go with the flow. Figure if you have delays in that, you weren't supposed to be there at that time anyway. Just be chill about it, okay? All right. Great month. A lot of good energy here, so use it. Anything that you're procrastinating on, no longer be procrastinating. It's time to get moving forward, and you've got the energy, you've got the light to do that. And again, Venus, just really spend some time with your loved ones, open up to new people you can connect to. Our hearts are wanting to expand bigger. We tend to keep our hearts small. Our heart is an amazing, expanding energy field. So do what makes your heart sing on any level to help open up your heart, because that energy will affect us collectively as well. All right. So much love for you. Check the links down below for past updates and other things that I have for you. And be sure to hit subscribe, hit the bell notification so that you can catch the next update. I post videos at least 2 times a week, try to get a card reading in there, and sometimes show up for a live as well. I'm here to help you navigate your life from the inside out and really understand the energy and what you need to pay attention to in that energy. So share, like, subscribe. So much love to you.